Related content is a powerful way to keep everything you need within easy reach in Tana. It's like having a full dashboard right at your fingertips. So here are 10 ideas on how to use related content on your day page to keep everything within easy reach. Hey, my name's Ev and I create YouTube videos to help you build your knowledge system so you can turn your personal knowledge into powerful ideas. So today we're talking about related content and specifically about how you can use related content on your day page to make sure that you have everything that you need at your fingertips. The related content sections are great for keeping you in context. So anything that you need throughout the day, whether it's tasks, whether it's events that are coming up, whether it's the projects that you have on, whether it's the notes that you've taken or your inbox or whatever it is, rather than breaking flow and clicking around and having to find all of those things, related content can help you bring all of those things into your day page so you can stay in flow constantly. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 10 ideas on things that you can add to your related content sections on your day page. And you can pick and choose from any of these to make sure that you have the information that you need when you need it. So let's get into it. All right, so let's have a talk about how you determine if something should be in your related content section. So everyone has their own way of organizing their day page. Some people like to keep it simple. Other people like to kind of have a whole lot of things in there. And it's important to understand how you particularly work, okay? You don't want things just cluttering up your day page just because Ev said, here are 10 things that you can add in. What you want to do is take notice of the things you reach for constantly. And those are things that you probably want to think about adding to the related content sections in your day page. It's just like, here at my desk, I have things that I reach for, pretty regularly. Okay. So I always have on my desk my Apple Pencil and my iPad. I always have my phone with me. I always have a glass of water. And so if I need to have a drink, I'm not walking to the kitchen to grab my glass of water. I'm just reaching for it here easily and I can stay at my desk and stay working. That's how you want to think about your day page. Anything that you feel like you kind of digitally reach for in Tana, those are the things you want to consider adding to your related content sections. Okay. So let's talk about how related content works. So you have two places on every node that related content can live. You've got here in the right sidebar, and then you've also got down the bottom, okay? So if you want to move something to the bottom, you just come here to options, prefer area, and go to content bottom, okay? And that will move it to where you want it to go. Some people like the right sidebar, some people like the bottom section, some people like a combination of both, okay? Now, the related content section, you can have two different types of nodes. You can have search nodes, okay, that searches for a whole lot of different nodes, or you can have a reference to something. So for instance, we can have a reference to our inbox so that we always see what's inside the inbox. To add related content, all you want to do is come up to your day tag, right click on it and press configure. Then jump down into advanced options. All right, and scroll all the way down and you'll see a box called related content. So this is where you can add anything that you want in these related content sections. So to add something new in, you just create a new node and you can either grab a reference to something. So let's say I wanted to put my Google Calendar in there. I could just come in and copy that node, paste it in, and then I get my Google Calendar coming up, okay? Or you could just create a search, okay? So you can come in here, create a search node and create your search. So the searches that you have in your related content sections are based off what I call the parent search. So we're always searching for something that is related to the parent or the page that we are on or the node that we're on, okay? So this makes sense if I show you this particular search, okay? So this is searching for tasks that are due today. So if we have a look up here, we can see that now in any of my tasks, I use a field, okay, a date field called due date. And all I do here is I'm looking for anything that has that field and I just have to type parent in here. So this is literally just typing in the word parent in capital letters. And then what that will do is you can kind of see down here, okay? So it's looking for the to-do date. Date is today. So what it does is it converts that parent into whatever day that you're on. So today it's looking for the parent, which is Monday, okay? But if I switch to tomorrow, that is now looking for anything that is due tomorrow, okay? So this works in any of your searches. So anytime on the day page that you are looking for something specific that is related to today, that's your parent search, okay? So if you have things like notes that you took today that you want to come up, journaling that you took today that you want to come up in the day page, those are all parent searches that you can use in your related content sections. So let's get into our 10 different ideas for what you can add into these sections. Okay, so the first section that you might want to add is today's tasks. And this is a pretty easy one to set up. So all you have to do is create a search that looks something like this. Okay, you're searching for task. You're searching for whatever date field that you have in your tag that is related to doing it today. So you might have a task field called due date. I have a task called due date. It just might be called date. Whatever that is, you want to add that in, and you want to make sure that you type parent in. And then I always type down here in the next node down, not done. Okay, so that means it's always just looking for anything that's not done. Once you've done that, you get all the tasks that are due today. Okay, most people are probably going to want to add something like that. The next thing that you might want to add in is something that I call a task inbox. So this is kind of any task that I might have added in today that I haven't necessarily kind of processed into a project or that kind of thing. So what I do here is in my task inbox, if we open it up, I've got in here, we're looking for anything that's a task where the task status is incoming. Okay, so on all of my tasks, if I add a new task in here, all of my tasks have this first status of incoming. That means I've dumped them in. I haven't done anything with them yet. And so what I do is once I have processed it, so let's say I've added it to a project, I've given it a due date, then I just basically switch this over to parked. So now it's kind of parked there, and I know that for myself, it's done, okay? So how I then kind of see my task inbox is I look for any task, okay, that has a status of incoming. All right. And so what that means is that anytime on my day page, I can see all the tasks that I've added in but haven't necessarily processed into into any of those sections. So I just come in here, I open it up, I relate it to a project if I need, do anything that I need, and then I switch it over to parked, and then it's done. And so at the end of the day, I just literally take a couple of minutes and just go through everything and clear my task inbox. Number 3 is your actual inbox, okay, the inbox in Tana. So you can actually add this in as a reference to a related content section. How you add these references, I showed you kind of briefly before, but just configure your day tag, come down to advanced options, go to related content, and then you want to just head on over to your inbox, put your cursor anywhere in the name of inbox and press copy. And then come back over and you can just add it in here as a reference. So you can see here that that's now a reference, okay? And so that then means that anything that comes in from, say, Tana Capture, you know it's there and you can just quickly kind of deal with it on your day page rather than always clicking back into the inbox. I like this because you can literally come here and you could say, okay, this is a note about the event. I want to put that on my day page. So it moves it automatically out of your inbox, and you can then, tag that as an event or do whatever you need to do with it. So number 4 is something that I call open loops. So in my life, I have a lot of different open loops. So I work with a team. Sometimes I'm waiting for things, for people. Sometimes I need to talk to people about things. Sometimes I've delegated a task to someone, but it's still my responsibility. So open loops are all of those things that are open, that I can't close because of somebody else. Okay, so how these show up for me in a task is that basically I have a field in my task called open. Okay, and it's just literally a tick box. All right, and so anytime something is open and I can't move it forward myself, I just tick open. And so that way it kind of sticks on my page so that I don't lose track of it. Okay, so how this particular one gets set up is really easy. I'm looking for any task that has a field open which is ticked. So how I tend to deal with open loops is usually, I don't deal with them every single day, but usually I'll kind of scan through them a couple of times a week. And so I find that having them on my day page just keeps them front and center. So you'll see kind of this pattern with me that I need things to be front and center. Otherwise, I forget about them. And so that's how I kind of think about what should be on my particular day page. All right, so number 5 is agendas. So when I'm working with people, I tend to have to talk to a lot of people about different things. And so rather than kind of jotting that down in some other place in Tana, I like to keep these kind of front and center. And how I do that is through a really simple tag. It's just called agenda. Okay. So I note down what I need to talk to somebody about, who it's for. And then anytime I tag something and it's open, it comes up here in agenda. This is a great way for when, you're quickly on the phone to somebody or you're in a meeting and somebody says, hey, is there anything else you need to talk to me about? You can quickly go to your agendas and do that. So the way that this gets set up is also easy. So you're looking for anything that is agenda where this closed box is not ticked. All right, number 6 is agenda, which should not be confused with agendas, which is things we need to talk to people about. But agenda is, what's coming up on your day. Now, if you are new to Tana, you probably already have this set up, and it's probably already on your day page. If not, it's something that you might want to add. So basically, this is a calendar view, and how this gets set up is, it looks like this, which feels confusing, but it's basically looking for anything that's an event, a meeting, or this node from calendar. Okay, so anything that's kind of come in through, if you're using Google Calendar Sync, or anything that's an event or a meeting, it's looking for, now this is important, so it's got this date overlap field. Okay, so date overlap means that if there's a series of dates in your event, so let's say it goes from September 2nd to September 5th, then it will still find that particular date because it's within the range. Okay, so you have date overlap, and then within that we're looking for anything that has a date of parent. Okay, so it's looking for anything today, and then it's also looking for not. And if there's an event status, whether it's declined or canceled. Okay, so this is within Google. It kind of comes from the Google Calendar events. All right, so this means that then you get a beautiful calendar and you can see what is happening throughout your day. This for me is a game changer. I never go to Google Calendar anymore. I always just am right here in Tana. I can see everything that's coming up. And if you want to build a foolproof system for managing your days, your weeks, your month, and just really getting more stuff done, then you might want to check out the Tana Fast Track course. We go through each of these setups in detail. How to set up your month, how to set up your week, how to set up your day, how to set up, your tasks, your projects, your notes, all of your output, everything that you need to set up a full knowledge system in Tana without having to piece it together with different YouTube videos. So I'm going to leave a link for that in the description box below if you want to check that out. All right, number 7 is today's accomplishments. All right, this is one of my most favorite related content sections. It shows me everything that I've done today. Okay, and this just either kind of makes me get motivated because I see everything that I'm getting done, or it gives me a bit of a kick up the butt to say like, hey, what have you been doing today? So it's really easy to actually set this up. We just go in here and we're looking for anything that is task, which has this field done time of parent. Okay, so basically anytime you click something is done, it shows up in here. And what I actually love is that when I tick it off here, then it automatically comes over here. So it's like that sense of, when you have like pen and paper and you literally like cross it off, it has that sense of it's moving into today's accomplishments. All right, number 8 is current projects. So I like to keep a list of all of the projects that are active, right, in my life. And that means that I can kind of quickly access them anytime I need. So if I'm working on something, I can just quickly open it. I can check out, any notes that I've got on there or chuck anything in there. And it's really easy. Again, it's one of those, what do I need to access really quickly that keeps me in context, but also is kind of like everything within easy reach. How you set this one up is you just come in and you're looking for anything that is a project and that has a project status of in progress, okay? And that will just give you a really simple list of all of your current projects. Number 9 is what I call the horizon, okay? So this is events that are coming up kind of past today, okay? So anything that's coming up in the future, if you do bullet journaling, this might be called something like a future log. I just call it horizon because it's kind of everything that's on the horizon. And for me, this helps especially, I don't necessarily need it every single day, but I still find it helpful to live on my day page because I can see things as they kind of come. And so if there's an event that kind of kicks off project that I need to work on or some tasks I need to do, it's always there kind of in my horizon. So this one, the way to set this up is that we are looking for anything that's tagged as an event. Okay, so whatever event tag that you use. And we're using this field here, which is GT, which means greater than. So it's looking for anything that is greater than a due date of parent. So depending on what field you use in your event super tag to say what the date is, that it could be called date, it could be called due date, it could be called event time, whatever it is, whatever yours is called, you want that field in here and you just want to type parent in. And so that's going to search for any event that is greater than today. Okay, so any event that is past today, future, it's going to look for those. All right, number 10 is Readwise. So if you use Readwise or any type of notes that you collect into Tana, you might want to have that accessible on your day page in related content. If you've got the Readwise sync set up already, then you'll already have a Readwise super tag. So all you want to do is come in here and you want to search for anything that's tagged Readwise. You can also go a step further and say something like, use the system fields and you can say like created time. And you can use the parent, okay? Yeah. That would mean that only things that were created today in Readwise come into your day page. You could also do something like for relative date this week. Okay, so if you only wanted to see things that were created this week or last week, and so you can play around with the created time with whatever kind of time frame that you want to see your notes in. Now, I do have one more bonus one for you. So this is number 11. And this is actually something that you can kind of add in on your kind of every week or every month into your related content sections, but it's your weekly or your monthly super tag. Okay, so if you do weekly plans or you do monthly plans, you might want to keep those in your sidebar. So for me, I do a monthly plan and I like to keep that in my sidebar. So again, it's front and center. So the way that you set this one up is it is just a reference to that month. So if you come to your month, you can come to this today button and right click on it and then go to this month. That's where you kind of see your month super tag, and you might build this out. It might have, goals, projects, your monthly review, what's coming up, all of that kind of thing. So you just want to just put your cursor anywhere in the top and press copy. If you go back to today and then we configure our related content, so right click on day to super tag, press configure, come down to advanced, and then you want to paste that in here, okay? Now, there is a way that you can kind of set up a search that searches for, a month super tag that is related to whatever month you're in. I prefer, personally, to paste the actual reference to the month, okay? Because then what's happening is I only ever have to open this up and I can see what's inside that super tag. If I create a search, I have to open up the search and then open up the reference to whatever month it is. So I just prefer this, and basically at the start of every month, I remove whatever last month was and I put a reference to this month. So there you have it. There are 11 ideas that you can add to your related content section so that you can stay in context and in flow and get everything done without having to go and find things and click around in Tana. And if you liked this video, then you might also want to check out this next one on the ultimate starter guide in Tana. It's going to help you get up to speed really, really fast. And don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe if you want more content like this in your YouTube feed.